Hey, this is Yuda for BeatLab Academy. This is sound recipes number 3, and we're gonna make this future house bass sound using only Ableton's instruments. Okay, so let's make this future house bass sound. I'm gonna open up a new MIDI track, and I'm gonna load operator. Let's stop everything from playing. I'm just gonna stop all the clips. Nice. And you probably need to wear headphones to hear the initial sound of operator, which is just a basic sine wave. Now for this type of future house bass lines, they do use a lot of FM synthesis, frequency modulation synthesis. And luckily, operator by default is already set as a FM synthesizer. So only oscillator A is outputting sound. If I turn it off, even if I turn the other ones on, we won't hear anything as I send MIDI because only A is outputting at the moment, which is good. Excellent. So we got a basic sound. Let me also copy this clip of the simple hook we made. Okay, nice. So as soon as we turn oscillator B volume, we can start hearing the sound change. And we can even change the course, which is not an octave, it's just the harmonic series. You can look up harmonic series, I'll put a link to look what it is. So you can change that to also change the tone, the sound. Let's put it on like 2 or 3. Nice. Excellent. Now to get that plucky sound, more of the kind of metallic pluck, we're going to change the envelope of oscillator B. We're going to make it shorter. So I'm going to take the sustain all the way down and decay. I'm going to make it fairly short. Nice. Let's change the course. Excellent. We can continue. Let's add another one. Maybe a different. Let's also adjust the envelope to be also plucky. Nice. Now we do hear a slight click in the end of the sound because my MIDI notes are very short. So let me go back to oscillator A, the main output oscillator. Just gonna make the release slightly longer. That's it. And maybe also we should do it for envelope B, just in case you're playing really short notes on the synth. Nice. Okay, excellent. We can continue this and if you noticed, we haven't changed any one of the waveforms. All of them are sine waves, which are really great waveforms to use for FM synthesis, because as you notice, as soon as we start frequency modulating, it's going to create a very bright sound with a lot of harmonics, very complex sound. So sine waves are a great start. But if you want, you can change the waveforms. In operator, you can even draw your own waveforms by just going to the oscillator tab and drawing something here. Let's turn it up. Maybe we give it a higher course. Nice, and we got a good start for our FM future house bass. Nice. Next, we can start adding some effects. Any type of effect you will add will change the sound and make it more unique to you. I'm gonna add just a few effects, for example, a saturator. I might even use some presets just to keep it simple. So saturator just to beef it up a bit. Again, emphasizing those harmonics that we're adding using the FM synthesis. I'm gonna add some reverb. Let's add a preset here under the room category. I'll add ambience medium. And this might be too long, so I'll just take the decay time down. Nice. Next, let's squash everything with a compressor. I'm going to go with the multiband dynamics, and I'm going to use the preset OTT over the top. This will glue the reverb and the sound together and really emphasize the reverb. 100% might be too much. Yeah, but something like 30-40% is great. You can go 100 if you want. For me, it's too much. Next, we did this in a previous sound recipe. I'm going to add overdrive. Let's drive it a bit. Take the tone up. dynamics all the way down, and 100% wet. Nice. And what we're going to do, we don't want this on the entire sound. We just want to mix it in with our dry sound, no overdrive. So I'm going to group it to an audio effect track, open up the chain list. This is our distortion. I'm going to right click and add another chain, which is going to be our dry. We're not going to put any effects on this one. And now with this, because it's 100% wet, we get only the distorted overdriven sound and the one without the overdrive. And then we can mix them in using this volume right here. Makes it brighter, a bit more punchier, helps it cut through small speakers as well. Nice. Lastly, we can add maybe a glue compressor, and we'll just add this. Let's do a fairly slow attack, fast release, high ratio. You can go lower. I'm just gonna take this down, bring the makeup up, and we don't want it too much, so I'm gonna just mix it in. So 50% we're doing parallel compression here. And also let's turn on the soft clipper. Will act as an extra limiter here at the end, although we'll probably turn down the synthesizer. So with this extra parallel compression, we bring the reverb even more, emphasize it, and glue it to the sound. Okay, nice. I'm gonna click on this parallel distortion rack, hold Shift, and click on operator. So I'm selecting all the devices except for the glue compressor. We're gonna leave it outside. I'm gonna right click on one of the device titles, choose group, and now it place it inside an instrument rack. So I can save this entire thing as one preset, but we grouped everything inside an instrument rack so we can open up the chain list and layer here more sounds. So first, I'm gonna rename this chain, and I'm gonna call it low, mid, wide. And right now it's not so wide, so let's make it wide. I'm gonna load a ping pong, just a simple delay, and we're gonna delay the left and right channels slightly differently from each other. So let's unsynchronize it, put it 100% wet, one of the sides all the way down, and the other like 20 milliseconds. And if you listen to it on headphones or monitors, it's really apparent how the sound just jumped to the left and right, because with delaying a tiny bit, fools our brain to think the sound is wide. Okay, I'm gonna click on the chain and I'm gonna duplicate it, Command D, Control D. So now we have two of the same. If I play it, it's just gonna be twice as loud. Let me change that to like a high, mid, distorted. First of all, this, we want it to be more in the middle. I'm gonna delete the simple delay. It's only on the low, mid, wide. This right now is the same chain, duplicate, just without that delay. Let's solo that. Same thing, just not wide. Let's change the operator a tiny bit. We leave the effects the same. You can change them if you want, but the thing about FM synthesis is if you only change the volumes of each oscillator and the coarse, it can give you almost endless amount of different tones and flavors. Of course, if you continue and change the waveform, filter, and so on, and effects, of course, the possibilities are almost endless. So for this one, let's go to oscillator A. Let's even test out a different waveform. I'm not gonna go with very bright waveforms like this saw waves that high in harmonics or the complete saw waves in square. But if we go with a square or a saw that is low in the harmonics, that might work nicely. Let's try this one. Nice, very nasty, very cool. Let's take it up an octave. This is harmonic series, but if you go up or down one, it's actual octave. The next one, it's gonna be something different, like octave and a fifth and so on. Nice. Maybe we'll change the course of each one. Maybe this, let's do like, and like 8. Nice, it's way too bright, so I'm gonna filter it out a bit. Okay, excellent. I think that can be a good complement to what we already have. Excellent. Both of them together might be too loud, so I'm gonna decrease the volume of each chain by like 3 dB. Nice. And just to finalize the patch, I'm gonna open up operator, load it. This is gonna be our sub. Let's solo that. Already a sub. Let's extend the release a tiny bit of the envelope of oscillator A. But instead of a sine wave, I like to use triangle wave. Has a few more harmonics, as we can see here. And just filter it out. Nice. Excellent, and we still have that parallel compression at the end just to glue the reverb to everything, and also the sounds, the different layers to themselves. So that's a future house bass rack. I'm gonna save it, offer it for free download. You can check it out in the video description. Sound recipe number 3. Hope you like it. Catch you next time.